Hey guys, welcome back to MJ Homestead. I'm Mike. I just wanted to get on here and do a quick update video. We haven't done an update video for, I don't know, probably a month and a half, something like that. Just showing you the animals and things. We'll start with the pigs here or whatever. They're getting awful big. Here, I don't know, a couple months ago, that's kind of like we just kind of flipped the light switch and they decided they wanted to start gaining weight. I don't know how big they are right now. We have no way of weighing them. If I was going to guess, I'd guess close to $1.50, something like that now. So we're planning on butchering the early part of October or whatever. Regardless of how big they are, we're just going to butcher them, track how old they were, and that way, this is kind of our learning year. We've told you guys that before. That way we'll know next year whether we need to let them go longer, maybe we let them go too long, something like that. We'll know better next year, but that's our plan with them. Pigs are really good at finding things too. This is a 16 by 32 enclosure we have them in, and so far they've dug up that much glass, old staples, old hoe head, stuff that's just barely buried underneath the dirt, and they found all that stuff so far just out of that small area. Springs, you know, things like that. So they're good at finding that kind of stuff in the yard that you would never even thought that's, you know, that anything like that would be in there. Yesterday we did butcher our big white turkey and 3 of our rabbits. We weren't quite sure how big the turkey was. We were just eyeballing it. Figured it's probably about butcher weight because he's starting to look like a big watermelon with legs and a head on it. And so we're not sure how heavy he is even now. He's sitting in the cooler on the deck right now. And the turkey ended up being 17.5 pounds. This is it all in its bag and everything. I'm not sure if we're really impressed with these bags really, but the rabbits we ended up parting out because the rib cage doesn't have much for meat on them at all. We just kind of parted that part out. There is a small fillet that goes right along the backbone. We got that out of there too, but we ended up about a little over 2 pounds of rabbit at a deal and a 17.5 pound turkey. So worked out good. But with the rabbits, we weren't quite sure how we wanted to go about dispatching the rabbits. We'd heard if you break their cervical vertebrae in their neck, that's an instant death for them and things, but I couldn't see myself standing on a broom handle or something and breaking the poor thing's neck. So what we ended up doing is getting ourselves a little, it's a Heritage Rough Rider 22 revolver. And what I did is I just picked the rabbit up by the scruff. I took him out of the cage, I placed him on the ground, and it seems like if you put some pressure on the rib cage, not you don't want to lean on them and hurt them or anything like that. If you put a reasonable amount of pressure on the rib cage, it kind of settles them down and they don't move much. And you can put the pistol like right between their ears and the back. And it's a good clean death, and they don't feel anything. I mean, it was instant death for all 3 of them, and I think we're going to use that permanently. That's all we're going to do, because I couldn't see myself trying to break the thing's necks or anything like that. But that's how we did that. With the other rabbits too, I know we don't, or I mentioned before, we had 2 really big litters. Yeah. Excuse our mess in here too. We got all their pellets all raked up into a pile. We're going to put them in the compost pile and all that kind of stuff. But then the chickens came in here and scratched it all. We're about to re-rake it all up. But these are our 2 litters. This is Spice's litter here. She had 9 babies this time, and they're already weaned. We took Spice out of here already, so. These guys are starting to eat a lot of feed though. They go through a ton, and rabbit feed's kind of expensive, so we're going to build ourselves a rabbit tractor so they can be more on grass and less on pellets, because pellets are expensive. But these are not Lacey's. Lacey's?
Yep.
Okay. Lacey's baby. She hasn't, they're not weaned yet. They're a little bit younger, but she actually, not to be outdone, had 13 of them at once. Unfortunately, she only has 10 nipples, so 3 of them didn't make it. And there was no way around that. That was just going to happen. So those are her 10 that she has left. And they're a little bit different. They have some gray in them, too, rather than just the regular red color or the broken red color we were getting out of Spice all the time. They do have a little bit of gray on them. They're kind of cute little guys, but we'll determine their sex here pretty soon and start separating them out and putting them in different cages. We do have some more hutch space now since we did butcher those 3. So maybe we'll show you the chickens, too. They've been starting to lay. But there's one trying to lay an egg right now. It seems like it's kind of Kind of like when you're raising brand new laying hens or whatever. Once they start getting to the age where they want to lay eggs and things, it's almost like thawing out a thawed or a frozen pipe. You know, you get an egg, it's like drip, 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 and you know the floodgates break loose and you get eggs all over the place. But when you get about four a day, getting about 4 a day out of them so far. You know, later on it'll be a lot. We do have 18 laying hens. We have 21 chickens total. 3 of them are roosters, so yeah, we have 19 laying hens. We should be getting quite a bit of eggs here pretty soon, I would think. We'll show you the garden here too, real quick. All right, the garden's not doing too bad. We do need to get in here and weed more. We're not very good at weeding. But one thing we noticed with this Back to Eden garden, I mean, it is kind of nice. It does do a lot of the things they say it does. It does kind of keep the weeds down a little bit. It does keep the plants hydrated, you know, and holds the moisture down for them and the root structures and all that kind of stuff. One thing it does do is grows a bunch of trees. Trees just grow up, you know, or whatever, all over the place. Some of these are actually trees. And if I knew what kind of trees they were, and if we need any trees anywhere, I mean, that'd be great. I'd just kind of transplant these trees over, maybe like free trees. But we don't need any of them, so that is kind of a, you know, a downfall to it. Otherwise, it seems to be working okay. We were actually able to grow corn this year. This is the first year we've ever been successful at growing corn. We've always been really good at growing corn plants. We'll have these giant plants, but none of them grow any corn on them. So actually this year we do have corn coming in, which is nice. It's one of our favorite vegetables. We wanted to have corn, but we never get it. So it's kind of nice that we can, that's a tree right there. But yeah, otherwise garden's going good. We do have a gopher that has a tunnel leading directly into the garden. So he was eating most of our tomatoes. We had to pull all of our tomatoes off the tomato plants and let them green up inside, or turn red. Not, you don't want them to be green, but you know what I mean. Anyway, we had to do that. What else can I talk about?
Onions need to be picked.
The onions need to be picked here, I guess. They're just about ready to go. All of our potatoes are getting close too. The plants are starting to dry up and just about ready to harvest the rest of the potatoes. But these, whatever these gourd things are getting huge.
Spaghetti squash.
Spaghetti squash. They're getting really big, so we'll be ready to pull some of them off of there pretty soon, I would imagine. We did harvest all of our beans. We ended up with a lot of beans. There were so many beans we didn't get a chance to can them all one time, so some of them had to go to the pigs or whatever. But they really produced a ton of beans.
Still have to pick more.
There's still more on there. More on there apparently. All right, as you can see, we're getting ready to bag the animals that we butchered yesterday. So we have our big old pot of boiling water. We just bought this here recently. Not that bowl, but this Bayou Classic turkey fryer base. Just hooks right to a propane bottle, and then a 60-quart pot, because turkeys are really big. You're gonna need to scald them to get their feathers plucked, or bag them or whatever. You need a really big container. So it's that 60 quart is 15 gallons. That's a pretty good sized pot. So let's see, we got that going now because we're gonna bag our animals. We did skin the rabbits too, and we started to cure the hides here. What do they look like? Put a plate on them to hold them down, but they want to float. But these are the rabbit hides right here. We just started them yesterday, so we got about 3 weeks or so before they'll be all ready to go. You use half a bucket of water, half a cup of alum or aluminum sulfate, I think that's called, or something like that, and half a cup of non-iodized salt. Later on, about a week from now, we'll pull the hides out, bring them out, redo our ratio of that chemical or whatever, and we'll show you guys that when we do that. But one thing we did want to do with the hides, once they're all tanned, we do want to, if we ever get to 500 subscribers, we'd like to do a giveaway. We might actually do one of these rabbit hides. And then I want to go back to the place, that metalworking place that made our sign for us, and have them make me a branding iron, like maybe, you know, a 3/4 inch thick steel, cut it out, maybe make an 1/8 inch groove, anything you don't want burnt, you know, to make the picture, and then actually brand the inside of one of these rabbit hides and send that away for our giveaway, plus one of our hats too. We'll do that if we ever get to 500 subscribers. So anyway, thanks for watching today, guys. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful day out here, so hope your day's going awesome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Thank you.